sleepy, but I hope it gets better in the class.
No, yes, I know. It's this time is a little hard because it's so early in the morning, but since we have this health emergency of staying at home because of the coronavirus out there, so that's why the teachers or the tutors have decided on changing the schedule a little bit earlier so we can uh, spend the rest of the day doing other activities.
Yes, I know. And
Yeah,
it's
of
good
course.
because after that I have to work. I'm mentally working, then it works for me.
All right. So, what's your job?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, what's your job?
Okay, I'm an office assistant. I work at Col Subsidia in the internal auditory area.
All right, but in Bogota.
Yes, in Bogota.
Okay, great. So we have another student. So, Yesenia, are you there?
Yes, tutor, good morning. Good
So, good
morning.
morning, everybody. So, for now, we have Vanessa, we have Yesenia. Yesenia, this is Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa. How are you?
Hello, Gisenia.
I
Nice to
had,
hear you.
yes, nice to hear you too. I had this meeting scheduled to 7 p.m.
At 7,
I,
Okay.
7 p.m.?
yes, I was wrong when I put it on the calendar, on the agenda.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, it happens sometimes. So,
Yeah.
let's see, let's wait a couple of more minutes for Catherine and Erika. They can join up anytime. So, we start with today's weekly encounter. So yeah, I was having a little chat with Vanessa. After this, she's gonna work, but I don't know. And the others, we are going to be working from home. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happened with this emergency we have around with that virus is spreading so quickly.
Yes. It's getting difficult and difficult every day.
Yes, I don't know how many people let's say contagious we have so far, like almost 500, something like that.
Well, the last I knew was more than 400, but I don't know exactly. I know we are supposed to be informed, but I prefer not to know so much because I don't want to lose my mind.
Yeah, that's right. That's what happened. Anyway, yeah, that's totally. Do you agree, Vanessa? It's better not to watch the news.
Yes, well, I try to watch news, for example, at lunch. But after that, I try to hear music or something like that because, yes, I get stressed. It's so much. It's too much about that topic.
Yeah, right. You can stress out yourself so easily. It's very to cool off, doing another things, and not to think so much about it because you're going to lose your mind and you're gonna think this is the end of the world. So it's better to to do other stuff.
Yes.
All right. So let's see, 7:04:05 now. So I don't know. I think our partners are going to join up anytime. So let's start kicking off. So okay, this is what happened. Somebody is writing to me. Let's see. So, all right, I want to start sharing the screen with you. So let's see if you can see something about what I'm sharing. So let's see. Can you see something from the screen? Let's see. Can you see this?
Yes, teacher. Word document.
All right, very good. And Yesenia, can you see it? And Yesenia can see it.
Yes, tutor, I can see your screen.
All right, so let's see. So our today conversation on this weekend encounter has to do with the college majors. In other words, a college majors is the decision of choosing a career. So I assume, or I guess, I suppose you have decided on this teaching career for a number of reasons. So I do really want to start talking about myself and my personal experience choosing this career. So, here we go. So, long ago, I was kind of young. Sorry, not quite old that I am now. But at the time when I was in high school, I didn't like much in the English language. And I used to cheat on exams, especially in English, in order to pass the subject. So, and for me, it was okay back then. I didn't worry about much English. I thought it was a waste of time learning the language, and it went on and on until I finished my high school. When I finished high school, I started working. I went to the military compulsory service for a year, and after that, I started working at a company, started making some money. And one day, I realized that I did want to do something. I did want to learn something new. I went to an English academy back then, and to my surprise, I realized that the teachers in that academy were some of my, let's say, colleagues or classmates back then in superior grade. So it was so impressive, so stunning to see some of your old classmates teaching English, and you were like, oh my God, this is really. And I started back then, and it was so, let's say, shocking how the English language was easy to understand, and I didn't realize why I didn't like it so much in high school. So after that year, let's say 2004, so I started studying the language. So at that time, it, I did understand the importance of the language, so I kicked off up to now. Now, in 2016, after teaching English for several years, let's say in an informal way, I decided to start out my major at university. So I went here to SEAT in my city, Medellin, and I decided to enroll in this amazing career. So teaching is not an easy job since you have to face a lot of circumstances that are not easy. For example, when you have when you're in charge of a class with 5 students, 10 students, that's gonna be okay. But when you work in a school and you are in charge of 25, 30, or even 40 students, it's gonna be really, really tough. So, but apart from that, it's good to have the experience of teaching others and having experience, and the most important and rewarding is to see when the students learn the concepts and the language as well. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
All right. So I want to start ask you, the two of you first, Yesenia, and then Vanessa. So, Yesenia, why do you decide to study this career?
Well, I had a similar history in high school. I didn't like English either. It gives me a lot of work because And I remember my teacher selected songs for us to translate, but I didn't listen to English songs. I was not connected with the situation, and that caused me that caused that I didn't like much English classes. However, when I get to the two last years at high school, we needed to select if we were going to go through the science bachelor or the humanistic bachelor. And I decided to go to through the humanistic to avoid studying chemistry and physics and all that. So I had to study French. Okay, so I finished my high school, blah blah. I started to study chemistry.
Imagine. Okay.
And I remember I went to United States for a few months, and of course, being there makes my hearing like more easy to understand. I was able to read, but not so much the speaking. The same that it still happens today. I came back to home, and my parents started English course. I finished my course. I honestly English was not my final destination plan back then either. And then I enrolled to study technology. It is called industrial production. It's a 3 years career. I graduated of that. I have never worked on that field. I had a baby, and a friend told me that I could work in preschools as an auxiliary. Is that correct, the word?
Support teacher.
Support teacher, helping the teacher to give the kids the work to do, to help them to go to the bathroom, to assist to give the lunch when they were younger, so giving them bath and all that. And I remember I went to a school that were looking for a madre cuidadora was the name they requested, and the director asked me, "Oh, do you know English?" Well, yes, I know English. I used to put everything on my resume. And she told me, "Why don't you teach English to my kids?" And I was really afraid because I have never do that. But didn't want to say no because I was looking for a job. So I said, "Oh, yes, okay." And my first class was with preschool kids. I was really nervous, but the teachers helped me a lot to control the kids. And little by little, I was giving classes to bigger kids, and at the end, I end up giving classes to high school students also. So I finally decided that I wanted to be an English teacher.
All right, you said it was an inspiring experience. So congratulations and thanks so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank
So let's listen now to Vanessa's calling. So what are you? Why did you decide on this teaching career?
I there, teacher. I got distracted. Well, as you said, I didn't like English in my high school. I don't know why. I think maybe because usually it's mandatory, no,
Yes.
and because the method of traditional schools, I think so. I remember when I finished my high school, I didn't pass to anything. Uh, I didn't pass even Sena. Then I had the opportunity to study English because that was the unique thing that appeared in that moment. and there was a branch. I don't know. I don't know if you have heard about the political party Mira. Do you know it?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course. Here in
Well,
the city.
at that time, in I think it was in 2013, maybe, and they had some branches and they taught languages. And I had a really really good teacher. And since that moment, I learned the advantages and I don't know, like the amazing of learning a new language. I think that teacher taught me loving English. No, it was a different point of view. And since that moment, I studied the language in some informal institutes like American Schoolway, Natural English, and last year, yes, I won a scholarship to study English in UNAT University with the 100% of the pays. I don't know how to say that, como cubriendo el 100% de los
No,
créditos.
you
Yes?
say scholarship, yeah,
Okay.
a free
And
scholarship.
yeah, and well, I think the person who motivated me to study this career was that teacher, because I understood at that moment that maybe we can. Well, I've always wanted to study something that generates an impact. Talking about social, or the community. And I understood that teachers can do that. No, teachers have the opportunity to change the mind and the I don't know, like the meanings people have about topics, subjects, or other different things. And that's the reason because I chose this career, because I had the opportunity to choose whatever career I wanted because the scholarship.
That's great. So congratulations for sharing your story with that. So that's great. That's amazing. Nice experience. All right. It's a good testimonial. So I don't know. Catherine is not around. I don't know. She's always here, but maybe she fall asleep even more. Okay, no problem. So right now, let's continue on our second part, which is showing you a little video. So we're not going to listen to it, but instead we're going to read it. So we'll try to look at the script because I want to focus on certain characteristics that are important for you to start out a career. In this case, the teaching career. So let me just play the video. I got it in here. So I want to put it in mute, but you're going to be able to see, for example, let's see the scripts down. So, and then we're going to talk it over. So here we go.
Teacher, I'm not watching your screen.
Let me see what happened. You cannot see it. No, but it's on.
No.
Yesenia can see it.
Yes, I can see it, but the buttons of the microphone and it is hiding the letters.
And what about now, um, Vanessa?
No, teacher. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna join to the calling again. Yes?
Don't try to do that.
Yes, now I can see it.
All right, very good. So I want to go back, but this is an like a self-evaluation. This is in order to identify if you have certain characteristics when having the dilemma of choosing a career. So this is like a little insight, a little introduction of the things you need to keep in mind when choosing a career or a major. So let's is play it again, and eventually we're gonna pause it. So it says that when you're in the path of choosing a career, there are many things that you have to keep in mind. For example, which field you feel more comfortable with? Do you like working alone or working with other people? Are you creative or not so creative? Are you introvert or extrovert? Be it easygoing, talkative, or shy or serious? Depends on certain characteristic you have. um, you're going to decide on which career to study. So this is what the video tries to, for example, to share with us. So it discusses that it's important to have some interests, personality, values, and skills. So I like to go over one by one. So the first one they are referring in here is, for example, your interest. All right. So let's pause the video here, and I want to start asking you questions about this, about your interests. So, uh, at the very beginning, you mentioned some facts that you kept in mind to study the career. So, right now, in this year 2020, what are your interests about the language? What are you so interested in about teaching the language? So, let's start with Vanessa.
Well, I really like English because I think it's another way to understand the world. Well, I've heard or I've learned that languages let us to see the world in a different way because each culture have different meanings for the same objects we know in our culture. Now it is about linguistic and communication processes and traditions, and I think that I know like open our minds, and it's important to understand other people and maybe to participate in social process to construct peaceful communities. I think that's my I don't know like interest in learning a new language.
Right. And what about Yesenia? What are your interests in learning the language?
Well, I consider that I have like a good disposition to learn. It is not that difficult for me to learn like to other people, and I think that it's important to take advantage of that talent. And also, it is important that as I have like the patience and I like to see how other people learn and get to their goals, to help them to reach those desires they have regarding the language.
All right, I know what you mean. So now I also want to share, for example, writing down in here some important, let's see, adjective when describing personality. Personality. For example, if you're talented, or let's say easygoing, or upbeat, or you're serious, or maybe talkative, or let's say, for example, let's see, introvert, and the opposite, which is extrovert, or you can also say timid, or maybe reserved, Now let's put it down in here. Among others. So these are, for example, some adjectives describing your personality. So that is important to keep it in mind. So because we're gonna continue talking about it. So these are, for example, some of them maybe you can remember even more. So if you right now remember anything else, so we can put it on the list. All right. So let's continue talking in here. So these are your interests. Something important when it comes to choosing a career. Now comes, for example, our personality. All right. Personality, that's an important, whether you're introvert, extrovert, easygoing, upbeat, talkative, that like to talk to so much with other people, or you're serious, etc., etc. Okay, and the question I want to ask you right now is, let's see, what kind of person are you in terms of personality? All right, so that's the question I want to ask you. What kind of person are you? How do you describe yourself as an introvert, talkative, etc., etc.? So, Yesenia, what kind of person are you?
I describe myself as an introvert person.
All
I mean,
right.
I don't like too much to speak with people I don't know. I am more than a person that is connected with my family, but I don't like people outside too much. I prefer to be like a little of few just few people around me. I think that is because I have been many years here at home as a housewife and a mother, and that is making like my um, interaction with others is limited. What else? Well, I can be timid sometimes, especially when I reach to a new place. I am a kind of person that I prefer to work alone instead of working in a collaborative way. What else? Mm, I know that I am reserved always. So yes, I am not much like telling the others about my life so much.
Uh,
Um, yes, and I know I need to correct that, especially on the field that I am going to work. But I think that I feel better working with young people that instead of working with adults.
with adults. All right.
Adults.
Very good. I know what you mean. Good. So, thank you for your point of view. So, now let's move on to Vanessa. What kind of person are you in terms of personality?
Well, I have some similarities to Yesenia. Like I'm timid, I'm introvert, and what else? I'm serious. I'm so conservative. But I always thought that if you like what you're doing, you're gonna do it with love, and I think that's the most important thing. And I like learning a lot. Maybe it's not as easy as I want now because, for example, I've without studying maybe for 3 years, then it's a little bit difficult for me to get used to be diligent again. No, with my time because studying in like in virtual method, it's a little bit difficult for me. And talking about working, I think I'm a social person in the way I try to listen to others, you know, but I prefer to work alone. Or yeah, it's easier for me.
All right. Very good. I know what you mean. So I don't know. Being a teacher for a couple of years, for 7 years now, I can tell you that sometimes it's a good idea to have a balance between being introvert and extrovert. Everybody has a different personality. So talking from my experience, I'll say that at the very beginning I was very serious and timid teaching, but then after a couple of months, you start to be more open-minded with your students, try to be more open with them, and you get the balance, and it's pretty good because it's not going to the extreme, not too serious, not too extrovert, and you are right in the middle. You are just in between. So I think it's important you as teachers or as future teachers to keep a balance between introvert and extrovert, just to try to be in between with your students, not crossing the line. So, and it certainly you're going to have a balance and an equilibrium in that part. So that's what I think. I don't know, maybe if you got something else to add to this comment, but the way I see it is something like an equilibrium, like a balance. So let's continue here. So this in terms of personality, right? The kind of person that you are, if you prefer to work alone or in teams, and so forth. Now it counts the values, all right, or the traits. So in here, it's important to keep in mind how creative you are, the personal growth they are expecting, and you mentioned it earlier, if whether you are a teamwork or a team player, whether you prefer to work alone or in teams, etc., etc. So in terms of values, how do you see this teaching career in terms of values? So you think it's gonna help you to grow personally, is going to maybe improve your creativity because you have to plan a class. You're gonna be like an explorer. You like the path of working with others, being a team player, etc., etc. So what's your opinion? What's your point of view when it comes to values, Vanessa?
Wow. Well, I've never given a class as you, but I think it helps me. For example, talking about communication processes, because it's necessary. For example, the empathy with the students and humility,
To be
to
humble.
learn. Yeah, to be humble, to learn, but at the same time, yeah, como
Yeah,
ay, le di-
yeah, yeah. That's right.
learn. No, to teach, but at the same time to learn. Yeah, it's
Good,
like
good.
como en ambas vías. I don't know how to say that in English. Es como el proceso de enseñanza-aprendizaje.
Oh, either way.
Okay, either way. And well, I think I'm a creative person because I like art. No, I like drawing, I like dancing, but I think that's part of my personality.
Okay, got it. All right. So, and also remember, when you work for a company, in this case, when it comes to teaching, our company is gonna be the schools or the institutions or the academies. And now, and our personal values. So, this is like a something that you have to measure in both ways, working for a company and individually. What about Jasenia? What about you in terms of values?
And of course, this career, and I think like every other, is going to help us to grow because we are going to keep learning every day new things. On not we don't know of the entire language, not even in Spanish. So every day we are going to need to prepare more and more when we face some things that we don't know regarding the language, regarding the didactic ways to face a class with the kids regarding the kids' personality and how to face a situation with them. Of course, the creativity too, uh, because we need to work hard on knowing how to keep and maintain those students' attention, how to make them interested and easy to learn. And the teamwork, well, I remember when I was working, none of my colleagues, for saying like that, knew about English. So I was like totally free on selecting the subjects and developing the way I wanted. I remember, of course, the thing that follow the statements at school, like the schedules and the dispositions about the behavior of the kids and everything. But well, I yes, I need to work on the teamwork.
All right. Certainly we have to, yeah. As teacher, let me tell you that it's something very important because sometimes you learn from uh, uh, other people, so it's quite good. All right. So let's continue in here. What is it? I got a message. We got a message over here. Let me check. All right.
It was my teacher, sorry. I was saying that I have to work in the work team too.
All right. That's learning that skill, how to be a better team player. So good. And last but not least, we got our skills. All right. The skills refers to the abilities we have for teaching. Maybe you're pretty good at, in this case, you are, for example, the skills. You are um, computer, maybe. You're a computer person, or you are a people person, or you are good at public speaking. What else can we say? Or when it comes to the four skills into the language, you are good at teaching, for example, the reading or the speaking or the writing, or you're pretty good at listening, or you're pretty good at drawing and you impart an education based on drawings, and I don't know. That's the part that is inside of you, and is going to help you to reinforce. Is going to be your ally in teaching. So let's see, Vanessa, what are your skills when it comes to teaching English?
Well, that's a difficult question. I think that maybe patience.
All
That is
right.
like, I don't know
Oh,
how to say that. Is well, in Spanish son habilidades blandas. How do you say that in English?
strength.
Strength.
Yeah, the strength is, for example, is something that you have. For example, I'm honest, I'm responsible, I'm creative.
Okay.
So that's something possible. But then positive, and then you have the negative strengths, positive and negative strength. Or you can also say the traits, positive traits and negative traits.
Okay. Well, I think patience and about the other abilities. I don't know to be honest. Maybe because of working um, with the office programs, I could say I'm a computer person, but I'm not sure about it because I have many things to learn still. And no, I don't know, teacher. That's a difficult question for me.
Have you ever have you ever taught a class before?
No, never.
Or even maybe your cousin, your neighbor, maybe mom, maybe dad, maybe your brother, your sister, and hey, let's explain the verb be, or I have trouble with the verb have in English. I don't know, something like that.
No,
No, never. Oh my
no,
God.
never.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. No, that's no problem. We are in the path of learning, so no problem. You're going to have your chance and your opportunity, so that's not a big deal right now. So, okay. So, what about Jasenia? Tell us about your skills when it comes to teaching,
Hmm. Uh, as Vanessa said, I think that patience also,
right?
because being in front of a class with more than 20, 30 kids required a lot of patience.
That's true.
Um, and I think that I have always had troubles to maintain a little bit the discipline. However, I learned that when you kept them uh, busy, they behave much better. And before working as a teaching, I never had like preparation on the field.
Great.
So I had to remember how my teachers worked, but when teaching me. So I adapted my classes for them when I was teaching the kids for my elementary school. I remember that I used to work with the important dates, the Mother's Day, the in my country the Flag Day, the Independence Day, and we used to make works, craft,
Yeah.
manualidades,
Handcrafts, handcrafts, yeah.
handcraft, yes. And in those handcraft, we use vocabulary.
All
So
right, very good.
that is the way they learn. And for example, once in Mother's Day, we learned a poem. So I think that when I have to face this situation, I can be a creative person. But if I have the time to relax and think, the ideas are not going to come that easy.
All right,
I
got it.
don't know if
Understood.
that is a strength, a positive or a negative strength.
All right, got it. Good, understood. All right, very good. So now I want to go into deep waters. So, all right, I found the what is the message again? I want to read it again. I found you can call the strengths soft skills or emotional intelligence. All right, good. Emotional intelligence. Good. Excellent. That is in terms of psychology, I guess. Isn't that true? I think
Yes, teacher, but no, it's been, well, como ha venido siendo muy común últimamente en todas las materias. How do you say that?
it's very, let's say, it's trendy nowadays in all subjects. It's trendy.
Okay, that.
Great. So now, this is a tough question and really want to ask the both of you. So if you let me see if you understand this question. So if you had this, that is, it has to be past participle. If you hadn't studied this career, which one would have you chosen and why? Do you understand the question?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
If you hadn't studied this career, which one would have you studied and why? Or which one would have you chosen and why? So let's start with Yesenia. What about you?
Um, I have a long story of studies.
Yes,
And
chemistry. Okay, the technological career, but anyway.
if I haven't studied this career, I would study veterinary. Veterinary.
Okay, you have become a vet. Really?
I
That's a
have
long
become.
story. Why?
I I chased that chase to perseguir.
Pursue, yeah, to pursue or follow.
No, perseguir literalmente.
Okay, follow. Uh-huh. You follow that dream.
Yes, for a long time, and I I remember that I spent about 3 years doing the university ingreso exams to enter to the vet career, and it was very difficult. At the end, what I could do was to enter into another career, the same university, and then after a year studying it, I request to transfer to the vet career. So I
Okay.
finally could enter to the vet school. However, uh, I don't know if it was not what I was meant to do in my life. But after 3 or 4 months, I quit it because I had a 3 months baby, and it was a very difficult career to follow with a kid, or at least the studies.
All right, very good. So, do you regret about it?
No, because I think that sometimes you get so intense on wanting something, mm, especially when we are young. We want something and we want something, and this is my dream, but you don't take the moment like to think if
Okay.
maybe those many times I did that test and I did not pass was a sign that it was not what it was made for me. I don't know. I am a believer of the destiny,
Good.
and well, and I remember that when I was very, very young, I wanted to be a preschool teacher. But, people is always telling you, why are you going to be a teacher? Teaching is the most desagradecido work in life. Blah, 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 blah. And so that is causing that you lost like the emotion that you have with that.
Okay, you lost interest.
You lost interest and desvia the path.
Okay, good. You don't, okay, let's say you lose your interest in something, and sometimes you got confused, and at the end, you don't know what to study, finally. Great. So let's ask Vanessa, what about you? If you hadn't studied this career, which one would have you chosen and why?
Okay, well, I would study sociology. That was the other option I had. But when sorry, teacher. But when I was in high school, well, after that process, I studied a human talent management technology because I wanted to study. Sorry, because I wanted to study. But give me a second, please.
No problem, that happens. It's so early in the morning. I understand that part.
I'm so sorry. Um, my mom is pretty funny. Sorry. I want. I wanted to study psychology, and that
Yes.
that was the reason because I study human talent. But I changed of mind. Then the answer is sociology because I want to study the culture, understand the social changes, and how I can give my apport. Yeah. like, I don't know, to change our society problems, maybe.
All right, got it. Understood. Okay, good. So say hello to your mom. She's kind of funny. All right. So let's continue here. So according to this, so I want to ask another personal question. This is about in the career process you are in now. So let's see. Let's ask Yesenia. So what semester are you in and when do you expect to finish?
I started to how do you say matricular? Enroll?
Yeah, to enroll or to register.
Okay, I started to register subjects in a very disorder, the unorganized way. So I have a career from the 10th semester, subjects from the 10th semester, and subjects from the 6th semester. But right now, I am trying to have everything organized, to have every period full, complete, and I think that I might be finish the career by the end of the next year, if I'm lucky.
All right, very good. In 2021. Okay, good. Good to hear that. And what about Vanessa? What about you? What semester are you in now, and when do you expect to finish?
Well, I'm in third semester, and
Yes,
sorry,
go
and
ahead.
well, I hope to finish this career around maybe 2022.
All right, 2022. Very good. That's great. And lastly, as you could see, you were talking long and hard about your personality trait, your skills, your interests, your values, and so forth. So you're going to play the role right now as a little bit of psychologist. So you're going to give an advice to the other peer. Example, Yesenia is going to recommend Vanessa's a possible career apart from English, and Vanessa is going to do the same to Yesenia. Oh, I think according to your um, let's say personality and traits, you could be a good doctor, or you could be a good, I don't know, architect, etc., etc. So who wants to start?
I think that this is a difficult one because we don't have like very much knowledge about the other person. I don't know much about Vanessa. What I can notice about her is that she had prepared a lot because I know that she is very fluent when speaking.
All right.
So I can notice that she is very juiciosa when studying,
So she's
uh,
very committed. She's very
committed,
committed. Okay,
committed to their
sounds
studies, and I feel that is she likes to research and to learn by herself, not just waiting to receive the knowledge and the information from others. What can I recommend her to? If she said that she wanted to be a sociologist, it's because she likes to help people, right?
okay, good. All right. So now, Vanessa, is you're up. You're up now.
That's difficult, teacher. Um, I thought the same about Yesenia. She is very committed. She knows about many fields and has a lot of experience. Well, I don't know. Um, Maybe Well, she has a child. Yes.
Yeah,
Two.
Two.
she
Oh,
has
okay.
she has two kids.
She has. Okay. Two. Maybe something about recreation. I don't know because she said she worked with handcrafts. Then maybe
Mm.
something about recreation or things like that.
Well,
and
yeah.
and
Thank
more
you.
importantly that she loves working with kids. Okay, remember her first job. All right, very good. Okay, my dear students, so far we have reached the end of this weekly encounter. I hope you liked, and I cordially invite you always to stay tuned and maybe register to all the encounter we have around for grammar, for the weekly, for the chat, etc., etc. It's a great space for you to improve your speaking skills, your grammar skills, and you kind of speak up, right? So for now, so I hope to, I hope you have a great day. You have a nice day, and we can meet up in another encounter.
Yes, tutor. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, teacher,
Okay.
thank you. I hope both of you enjoyed this time with your family.
Yes, you too. It's been difficult, but we can do it.
Of course, we have to make the best out of this. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Bye bye and have a good day.
Same
Bye.
to
Bye,
you, teacher.
tutor.
Same to
Bye,
you,
Vanessa.
Yesenia. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Nice to meet you too. Anything you need, you can ask me, and if I have the answers, of course, I can help you. And the tutor, well, thank you very much because I noticed that you have made a big effort to teach us, and these classes are very good to learn how to work in this virtual field also. So I
Okay.
really
Congrats. Thank you very much for your comment. So I will keep them in mind. Okay.
thank. Goodbye. Stay safe, and God
Bye.
bless you. Bye.
And same here. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.